Welcome. This is Inside the Triathlete Studio with Jim Lipton. I'm here today with up-and-coming triathlete Chris Sweet. He's an up-and-coming triathlete from Bloomington, Illinois. We're going to ask him a few questions about his season, his 2007 season.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks for having me here. I appreciate it.
All right, so let's just get started.
Let's get some practice in.
Stronger kick. You're back. So Chris, you've always been self-coached. This year you're hoping to gain a sponsorship with RaceAthlete, which would mean you'd get a coaching from D3 Multisport. What would you hope to gain from that coaching experience?
Well, I've been fortunate enough to have really great single sport coaches in the past. Both my high school and my college cross-country coaches were both named to the Illinois Triathlete Triathlete in the Brain Cross-Country Coaches Hall of Fame. And I've had a few good swim coaches here and there, so that has given me some background and some structure for getting into triathlon. But I've really just been, completely self-coached on the cycling end of things. I think I can see a lot of gains in cycling from having a coach that really has a strong background in cycling, and just keeping me honest on all the workouts. I think would be a really big advantage to my racing and my training. Getting me out there, I've done a lot of mileage, but maybe not enough of the hard stuff. Man, I need a new bike.
So speaking of the biking, you had a crash last spring, if I remember right, at the DeSoto Triple T. How did you manage to rehabilitate yourself so quickly and have a great race at Ironman Lake Placid?
Yeah, Triple T was really unfortunate. For those of you that aren't familiar, it's a 4 triathlon race over the course of a weekend. You do 4 races in 3 days, and this was the 4th of the 4 races, and I had made it almost 50 of 56 miles when I unfortunately caught a small branch on a downhill that pushed me off the shoulder. I went down at about probably about 30 miles an hour, and when I popped back up, there was definitely something wasn't quite right. And a few X-rays and an emergency room visit later, I found out that I had a broken collarbone, which was disappointing since I was at the time 10 weeks out from Lake Placid.
And doing rather well on the Triple T, correct?
We were sitting probably at about the 3rd overall team at the time that I went down. So we were planning on finishing fairly highly in the standings. I thought about getting on the bike and just finishing up and then doing the run afterwards. But I think it would have been too dangerous to get back on and try to finish it. It's in the mountains of southern Ohio. So riding one-handed is not the safest thing that you can do.
So again, coming off of an injury like that, you came back awful strong in a very short time for Ironman Placid. How was your training those weeks afterwards?
I really just did what I could. I think I owe quite a bit to my orthopedic surgeon, who said that you can, if you're careful, you can race 10 weeks from the crash. You just know that if you happen to go down again, you're going to break it again and possibly worse. So I really did what I could. I did do a few indoor trainer rides in June, which wasn't a lot of fun, and I spent a couple weeks on my mountain bike with the tire pressure lowered so that I didn't feel any of the bumps when I was out there on the road. I really didn't do much of any swimming. I couldn't swim at all until about 3 weeks before the race. So my swimming was a little off, unfortunately, on race day.
Excellent. It's amazing recovery. Amazing.
I've got a lot of nutrition. Nutrition's very important when you're racing an Ironman. This is my own design here. It carries a lot of gel. It kind of hurts when you have to take it off, but I think it's a very good way to keep all of your nutrition in one place at one time. You just reach down here and grab whatever flavor that you want, and it's right there for you. And also, you don't want to get dehydrated. A lot of times, Ironman Wisconsin, it's really hot, and so I like to carry a lot of fluid with me because I always like the taste of the water that they have at the aid stations. I prefer my own filtered water right here. It may slow me down a little bit on the hills, but I think it's worth it in the long run.
So Chris, last question. I was just reading in the book "My Training Starts Tomorrow," The Everyman's Guide to Iron Fit Swimming, Cycling, and Running by Roman Micah.
I've heard that book is really moving up the New York Times bestseller list.
It is.
It's word in the libraries. It's on the rise.
Yeah, fabulous read. Must read for any triathlete. Now, Roman mentions in Chapter 7 that one of the top 10 secrets to a personal best time is to get yourself a triathlon mantra. Now, do you have a triathlon mantra or anything that you like to repeat to yourself during a race?
Yeah, there's one phrase that I kind of use as a mantra. It's actually a lyric from a song. It's by the band Live, and the song is "I Alone." And the mantra that I use is "It's easier not to be great," which on the surface it doesn't sound like a real inspiring type of quote, but especially for something long like Ironman, if you sit back and kind of think about what that means, it's exactly about what triathletes and in particular Ironmen do every day. It's a lot easier to stay in bed in the morning and to sleep in. It's a lot easier to not go an extra 2,000 yards in the pool. And so that I use it in training and racing to remind myself kind of why I'm out there doing what I'm doing.
Excellent. Well, here's to a great season, and thanks for being on the show. It's been great having you.
This is Paula Newby-Fraser with this year's Ironman Wisconsin 2007 race recap. This year's winner was age grouper Christopher Sweet. He had a phenomenal race, an excellent swim, and then he set a new bike course record out on the course on his new bicycle. Then followed up with a fantastic marathon to chase down Faris Al-Sultan and win this race by only 1 minute. What a phenomenal race for this new standout superstar, Christopher Sweet from Bloomington, Illinois.
Yeah! All right, champion!
You totally wrong!